What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing well. We are back on WUG with a cool rental that the devs released, and that is the Peugeot 907, which is pretty ironic because my username is Cruise907, so I have no correlation with this car, just to let y'all know. But it's cool that Peugeot also thought 907 sounded cool as well, because it sounds cool to me. We driving this car. It is definitely a unique car. I actually never knew this car existed. I noticed that Peugeot does make a lot of cool concept cars that just don't materialize, unfortunately. Because this is a nice looking car from the rear. I'm not sure about the front end. From the styling cues, I assume this car is from the 2000s, because from the front, I can see some 207, and to be fair, the only Peugeot cars I know is the Oxia, the 206, and the 207, and the 205 as well, so I don't really know much about Peugeot. But one thing I gotta say for this car is that understeer is crazy. It is insane. And this car is not made for this track. As you can see, the M3 GTR and the C6R, those are cars that are great on this track because this is a technical course. And this car does not like to turn. It really doesn't like to turn. However, it's got nice power. So, straight line speed, one thing I noticed, it does pull harder than other cars I've driven recently. And for example, the normal thing that's a ZR1 behind me, yeah, this thing got more pull than that thing for sure. It was kind of a handful to drive this thing. Now this is something cool. And what's not cool is hitting traffic, which is something that I always do. Mans behind me also hit traffic as well. The beginning of this course could be definitely a little tricky if you just decide to drive blindly like I do. And oh man, that man, yeah, he couldn't handle it. He was like, absolutely not. I cannot deal with this traffic. This is just not my run. Me on the other hand, I'm like, alright, I guess we'll just keep going. I mean, I'm getting dusted out here. I'm getting destroyed by this Countach, which is so crazy because I forgot that Countach even existed in this game, and I can say that about a lot of cars in this game, especially the OG cars that were just, I feel like they were just released on the side and no one gave any attention to them whatsoever. Let's see how this thing handles jumps. Oh man, that could have been bad. Wow, Countach. Oh man, that is rough. That is so rough. And come on, taxi, you gotta get out of my way, dog. But that is rough for the Countach, man. That dude was absolutely destroying me, and for that RNG jump to mess you up, that is just tragic. Because one thing I can see is that, man, that Countach, it's got pull. I don't even think this man even had the car fully 749'd, or even if you can 749 a Countach. That is a car that I definitely gotta take a look at. And as I was saying before, there are so many cars on World that are just not really gonna be given a chance. And that's something I want to change this year. This year, I definitely want to start driving cars that are, along with the new ones, just give spotlight to cars that were just already in the game and forgotten. Because the content that's going to be made on this game from pretty much now on is really going to be focused on newer cars, on meta cars, on fan favorites. But there's so many cars that are just forgotten. Or, you know, you get them in your garage, and you never look at it ever again. But I'm really glad that the WUG devs do have the brand new, well, it's been a few months now, they do have the rental system now to show some love to these cars, because there's just so many cars that are just not being utilized at all. Here's another car I forgot. The Lotus Evora. Now this car is going to get absolutely destroyed again, just like how that semi got destroyed. Please don't get in my way. Wow, that... I was just so focused on making sure I don't get destroyed on that. But yeah, that Evora is just destroying me, man. Seems like dude's got some nice handles. At least better than what I do. Yep, that's basically the end of the race. So this car, it's very interesting. It's really cool that there's such a unique car being brought into World. Will I be buying it? Personally, not. It's just not really my type of car to drive. It doesn't really feel too enjoyable for me. But tuning can change all that in a different car class. Anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good one. Peace.